joined by a guest. We have Sheshpal Vaid, a former Director General of the Jammu and Kashmir Police Force, who is joining us from Jammu in India. Shesh, thank you very much for being here with us. While we have, of course, discussed in depth the diplomacy and the tensions between India and Pakistan, we can't, of course, forget the people that have died in this devastating terror attack. 4 terrorists laying 26 people to death, shooting them from close range. Given your expertise, can you provide some information to us about what the scene would have been like and how emergency services would have responded to an attack of this nature?
Good afternoon. Glenn, see, this is the place of incident is about 4 or 5 kilometers away from main town of Pahalgam. And as you know, Amarnath Yatra takes place from the base camp of Amarnath Yatra, which is scheduled to happen after another 2 months by, I think, 3rd of July. This place is very near that base camp of the Amarnath Yatra, and this is not connected with a road. There's a kacha pony track to go to there, where there is a huge meadow. You must have seen those videos of place of incident day before yesterday. It must be horrible scene because these terrorists came there. They had racket. It was very well planned attack, racket, and on the instructions of handlers across the border from Pakistan. I think it is not a coincidence that the army chief of Pakistan, General Asim Munir, speaks of the two-nation theory. Hindus and Muslims are different nations. We have a different and this incident happens after 2, 3, 4 days. And this is also not a coincidence that the Hamas terrorist senior leader, his visit is arranged by this establishment of Pakistan, which means the Pakistan Army and the ISI. A few months back, he visits POK, interacts with the Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist outfit and also Jaish-e-Mohammed. In this incident, the involvement of terrorists is from Lashkar-e-Toiba, which is just using a local name of TRF. It is Lashkar-e-Toiba, which is actually the main terror outfit which is involved in this massacre of Hindus. These people have been identified, their identity cards were checked, their pants were removed just to check whether they have in season, circumcision, are these non-Muslims. So they have been targeted for being Hindus and for being non-Muslims. So it must be a terrible scene with no presence of armed police in that area. You can imagine how horrible this scene was. People were at the mercy of terrorists who butchered them just because of their religion. So it had footprints of Hamas type 7th October attack, if you recall, in Israel. It may not be of that scale that 1,100, 1,200 people were killed. Here we had less number of casualties, but it has all those footprints. And even these scenes were videographed by these terrorists, and they later on are released. So they had cameras. So it is just to spread terror. I think it's a very, very horrible incident where you see a small child whose both parents have been butchered, another child who does not even understand what is this all about, a newly wed couple who was married only 5 days back had come to have their honeymoon here. So you can imagine the agony and pain of people who suffered at the hands of these terrorists, and there was no one. Many people lost their life because it was not connected by road, and local people had to carry them and policemen and the army had to carry them, these people, 4-5 kilometers down to the hospital.
Yes.
So in a kacha track, so pony track. So many people bled to death. There was no immediate assistance which they could have received, medical assistance, which would have saved their lives. So I think all this must be very, very pathetic and horrible to see.
Absolutely, Shesh. Of course, this incident has not just shocked India, but the wider world. And we've, of course, seen responses and calls in solidarity with India during this extremely difficult time. But I do want to touch on what's next as we end this discussion, Shesh. Of course, terrorists still not apprehended. Of course, uncertainty over rising diplomatic tensions between India and Pakistan. But on the ground, what will the response be from security and police forces?
See, both in Kashmir Valley and in Jammu region, there are groups of terrorists belonging to Lashkar-e-Toiba, operating in the groups of 4 to 5, 3 to 4. These numbers, there are a number of groups operating in the hills of Jammu region and also in Kashmir Valley. We need to go all out against them. Launch operation, I think, in the Indian Army, the paramilitary forces and J&K police have launched manhunt for all these terrorists. Very soon, those 4 or 5 terrorists who are involved in this incident, the efforts are on to track them down. But there's a thick jungle behind this meadow from where they have managed to escape. And I think there are difficulties to operate in thick jungle and high mountains. But still, we will be able to get some leads about their presence, and very soon you will hear that they will meet their fate and go to 72 Hurs. We will be going after all other such groups operating within Jammu and Kashmir, within the LOC and the IB of with Pakistan. I think as far as diplomatic tension, yes, government under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Modi met for yesterday, and CCS took major decisions, including keeping in abeyance the Indus Water Treaty and cancelling all the visas of Pakistani citizens, giving them 48 hours to leave. Also pruning the staff of embassy from 50, already reduced 55 to 30, expelling the defense attaches from Pakistan embassy and vice versa. And steps like this will have a diplomatic, almost you will have virtually no contact with Pakistan. And that, I think there is no need to have diplomatic tension, any contact with country like this, which pursues policy of bleeding India by 1,000 cuts and policy of Ghazwa-e-Hind, policy of, the jihad, the Islamic jihad which they pursue. I think such a country we should just boycott. Already it's isolated all across the world, and many nations have pledged support to India in this fight against terrorism. And that is why yesterday Prime Minister made a very, very important speech that we will go after these terrorists, and also against the deep state of Pakistan, which includes Pakistan Army and the ISI, who are actually the real people behind it. So unless you break the backbone of Pakistan Army and ISI, it will not have a final impact.
Shesh, thank you ever so much for joining us in this extremely difficult time.